The morning sun over Umueze village did not just bring light, it brought the heavy, suffocating weight of heat and dust. While other girls her age gathered by the river to braid their hair, giggle about the latest wealthy suitors visiting from the city, and count their imported lace fabrics, Nene sat under the shade of a mango tree, her fingers stained with blue ink. Nene, whose name meant a precious gift, was a girl of striking, quiet beauty. Her skin had a deep, rich tone of polished mahogany, and her eyes held a sharp, luminous clarity that spoke of a mind far beyond her 19 years. She was virtuous, reserved, and fiercely determined. Her parents, Papa Chinedu and Mama Ngozi, were humble cassava farmers. Their palms were callous, their shoulders bent from years of tilling stubborn soil, but their hearts were filled with a quiet pride whenever Nene brought home her school report cards. She never came second, not once. While the village boys whispered sweet promises of gold and city trips, Nene kept her head buried in her textbooks. Books don't feed a home, Nene, her childhood friend Ogechi would mock, swinging her hips in a silk dress bought by a businessman 3 times her age. Look at me. I don't know what a calculus book looks like, but my wardrobe is full. You're wasting your youth, Nene. Nene will only smile gently, wrap her threadbare shawl tighter around her shoulders, and return to her reading. Years blurred into one another. Nene gained admission to the university on a full scholarship through countless sleepless nights, studying under the flickering light of a kerosene lamp, while her eyes burned with fatigue. She pushed forward when the results were posted. Her name stood at the very top, first class honors. She had done it. Yet, returning to Umueze for the long holiday felt like walking into a storm of silent judgment. By then, Ogechi and the other girls had secured marriages to wealthy men, tycoons, politicians, and contractors. They returned to the village in long dark cars that kicked up dust, clouds of dust over Papa Chinedu's tiny thatch-roofed veranda. They flaunted heavy gold jewelry, threw lavish parties, and spoke in loud, boastful voices. One afternoon, Ogechi stopped her car right outside Nene's compound. She stepped out, trailing expensive perfume into the dusty air. Looking down at Nene, who was helping her mother pick cassava. Nene, Ogechi sneered softly, a pitying smile playing on her lips. You hold a degree now, don't you? First class, for that matter. They say you have first class, but look at your hands. Look at your mother's wrapper. It is torn. Intelligence and hard work do not make a person wealthy, my friend. Destiny does. You struggled all these years in vain, while we simply sat back and were blessed. The words cut deep, sharp as a rusted blade. That night, Nene sat on the edge of her small wooden bed, listening to the crickets, and wept silently. She did not cry because she envied Ogechi's gold. She cried because she wondered if her integrity and endless sacrifices were truly meaningless in a world that only praised glitter. Mama Ngozi came in, sitting beside her daughter on the creaky bed. She took Nene's ink-stained, delicate hands in her own rough ones. A tree, my daughter, planted by the river does not dry up, she said. Do you understand me, my daughter? A tree planted by the river does not dry up because a drought comes. Her mother whispered to her ears, kissing Nene's forehead. Your time is coming. Nene, your time is coming. Gold melts, But what is inside your head and your heart can never be stolen. 2 months later, 2 very good months later, the tide turned. A multinational firm in the city was searching for an exceptionally good graduate to head a new sustainable development initiative across the whole of West Africa. The board wanted someone with undisputed academic excellence and unyielding moral character. Out of hundreds of applicants, Nene's record was an unblemished beacon. When the news reached Umwezi, it didn't come as a rumor. It came as a convoy. Company representatives arrived to formally present Nene with her appointment letter, a house in the city, a salary that could support her entire village for a lifetime. The entire village for a whole lifetime. When Papa Chinedu saw his daughter's name signed at the bottom of the official contract, tears finally broke through the deep creases of his weathered face. For years, he had worked until his back ached, taking insults from those who laughed at him for spending his few earnings on a girl's education. Now, he fell to his knees in the dust, praising God, while Mama Ngozi danced, her tears soaking her faded wrapper. Nene had made it. She had raised her family out of the debt without compromising her dignity. Meanwhile, the glittering lives of the wealthy village wives began to crack from within. As the years passed, the wealthy men grew tired of wives who brought only surface beauty and vanity to their lives. In the high circles of business and politics, these men needed partners who could hold conversations, understand investments, and command respect. The very husbands who had once lavished Ogechi and the others with silk grew distant, embarrassed by their lack of substance. Trouble hit Ogechi's household hard when her husband's business suffered a major legal setback. She could offer no counsel, no financial understanding, no strategy, only complaints about her dwindling allowance. Frustrated and bitter, her husband began looking elsewhere, seeking out educated, intellectually grounded women who could stand as equals beside him. One by one, the flashy marriages built on superficial grounds began to crumble into quiet, painful loneliness. One late afternoon, Nene returned to Mweze to build a modern home for her parents. She stepped out of her modest car, dressed in an elegant, simple tailor-made suit. Ogechi was walking by the road, carrying a plastic bucket. Her once glowing skin dulled by stress, her expensive face and laces replaced by a faded cloth. The 2 women's eyes met. There was no mockery left in Ogechi's eyes, only a quiet, aching regret. Nene did not gloat. She did not taunt. She simply walked up to her old friend and greeted her with warmth and offered her a soft smile. As Nene walked into her parents' compound, wrapped in the warm, tight embrace of her mother and father, she looked up at the evening sky. She knew then that hard work was never in vain. Destiny was not a lottery ticket granted by a wealthy man. It was a promise forged in sweat, character, and grace. Guys, you have heard this story. What do you think about it? Is it better to laze about with rich men who are 3 times your age, or to work hard and make it in life and marry someone that you actually deserve? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.